Welcome to another episode of Systematic Geekology. This is a space where we seek to create and cultivate healthy conversations between those things we geek out on and the philosophical and theological questions that often arise out of our fandoms. Like, what does it mean to be human? What makes a hero? What makes a villain? How do the stories and narratives we geek out on shape how we live in the world? We are your priest to the geeks. We aren't all ordained, but we see ourselves as mediators at the intersection of geek culture and going deeper in our faith. We don't always have to agree, but we do respect each other, and we see everyone as a beloved child of God. Everyone geeks out on something, so come geek out with us and enjoy the show.
You're listening to an Anazao Ministries podcast.
No matter how tough the world becomes, you can always fight back as long as you have something to protect. These are wise words from Franky, and if you don't know what that is from, we are talking about One Piece, specifically arcs there is. This is a big turntable. We get new crew members, we learn about histories. It unfolds, and I feel like we say this about every single arc, but we really mean it with this one. So our aim this episode is, if you have not watched One Piece, or if you just haven't seen this arc in a long time, you need to rewatch Water 7. I am Elizabeth Clyde, with your co-host of Systematic Geekology, along with TJ. How's it going, TJ?
Good, thank you.
What you been up to?
I've been playing Spectre Divide a lot.
My husband just bought, what's it called, Biotech? Bioshock, have you heard that? Of that?
It's old, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, TJ, it's old.
Game is
it's
an old game. Straight.
It's scary, but we're not here to talk about that. If you guys are listening, please let us know how you like this episode. Please rate and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're watching. Maybe give us a like on YouTube. And once again, we want to thank our Patreon supporters. This time we're going to give a shout out to Anita Knoll. Thank you so much for being a Patreon, a Captivate supporter who helps us out monthly, keeps the light on. We could not do it without you. And like I said, this is a part of a series. We are going through all... How many anime episodes are there now, TJ? Is it like 1,200? Still going?
Yeah. Let me check.
I think we're in at least the 1,200s now. So we are only covering, I think, episode like 230 to 263, something around there. So I'm not exactly sure. And of course, this is also manga chapters as well. TJ has read the manga as well as watched the anime, and I'm just an anime nerd. So make sure you check out other recaps if you like this. And we're gonna get started.
Yeah,
TJ, do you have the number?
11/16 comes out in 2 days.
In 2 days, okay. I'm not caught up. I'm like, I think at 1,060 or something like that is my 60 something. Just because I like to wait a while and binge it. I don't like waiting the week to week.
I don't know. I feel like 56 episodes is quite a bingeable amount.
Alright, yeah, that's true. I could get that done. But speaking of binging, what have you been geeking out on lately?
Oh, Spectre Divide.
Okay, yeah, you kind of said that. I've been trying to geek out on Fairy Tail, but like I just said, this week to week is killing me with the new season. And so I'm like 2-3 episodes behind. Well, I think there's only 4 episodes out, so I think I'm 2 episodes behind. But we're trying. It's very slow. I hate like when an anime comes back from a break. It kind of has to reintroduce a lot of stuff for the new people watching. But do you know what anime very rarely takes a break? One Piece.
One Piece.
Has it ever taken a long hiatus or a yearly break that you know of?
Not that I remember, but I'm sure it has.
Well, I mean, Oda had eye surgery that one time. So he took a break from like the manga, but that wasn't because he was burnt out or a writer's block. That was just health wise, so I don't count that. Or he wasn't like deathly sick or fighting cancer. God, please cover Oda, give him your protection. Amen. All right, after that prayer, we are getting into the episode where we start off Water 7. I think this is probably one of my favorite arc, just illustration wise, because this is like Venice, Italy meets just pirates. And who doesn't love that?
Yeah, no, Water 7 to me still is like the peak of One Piece world building. I love it. It's gorgeous. I want to be at Water 7 so bad.
And this is the only reason why I'm like, visiting Italy might not be so bad if I can have a little bit of what Luffy felt whenever he goes into the boat and he sees like the giant fountain, and it's beautiful. It makes you excited.
Yeah, and they do a lot of fun stuff in Water 7.
Mm-hmm. It kind of they get to have a little break.
I don't mean that just like worldwide. Like the sea train's awesome. Like
yeah,
One Piece
it kind of makes
filled with these little fun concepts.
It makes me think of Spirited Away, which probably makes me love this arc even more with that train.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of just water in general.
I agree.
I like to be in it.
And it's always fun whenever the crew gets to have a little break and playtime. So I love those filler episodes whenever they're not fighting and they get to be goofy and just be dumb and shop around and just be crazy. But with this one, their main objective is to find someone to fix the Going Merry. Because after Skypiea and just a lot of battles, she's a little rough. She's literally being held on with some metal, tape, like anything, because Usopp is not an actual shipwright person, so he can only band-aid so much. But Water 7 is renowned for their ship hands. Is it called shipwright? I think is what it's called. And this is where Gold Roger has gotten his ship. So from, even though, is it public knowledge at the beginning he got? I think so, but we just didn't know exactly who built it.
I don't remember.
I think it was, I think we did know because the guy got executed for being conspiracy with Gold Roger, which was Franky and, what was his name? Franky's, and I'll think of it later, their mentor. So Luffy, of course, wants the person who built Gold Roger's ship to fix his. And I would say this is probably one of the most emotional arcs, too. It literally has everything.
Yeah, it gets really, really heavy.
What's the key standouts when you think of Water 7?
Franky. This is where we meet Franky. They're doing a lot of the, like, Robin's going to leave the crew, join Cypher Pole here. We fight Cypher Pole a lot here.
Yes, but that's near the
going
end.
into Vinya's lobby.
Yep. So, but they don't realize who all the secret covered agent is, and Robin meets the mask person. I think he's number 0.
Yeah. Spawned him.
Yeah, in the crowd. So she wasn't anticipating this happening, and so at this point, we don't know who they are. We just know Robin is spooked, and she ends up disappearing along the way. And we find out why a little bit later, near the end of the arc. But gosh, I think the most emotional thing ever, besides the episode we're going to do later, that we say goodbye to a character, and I'm just not okay still to it, but that's another episode or another podcast, is when they tell Luffy and Usopp, the whole crew, that the boat is unfixable. Because they went into the water and they saw the bow, like the bow of the bow, which is pretty much the spine of the ship, and it was cracked. And they said it was a miracle that the ship has gotten them here. And then we know in the past episodes, we kind of seen like the spirit of the ship and how the ship loves the crew just as much as the crew loves the ship. And Usopp is not handling this well at all. This dude is in denial. He's going through all 7 stages of grief. And it's just an emotional time.
Yeah, and it's like, oh man, it's so hard to watch. Because Franky wants to destroy the Going Merry to put it out of its misery.
Yeah. But because he's like, this is what he does. He's like, it's time to dismantle it, and then we can maybe use some pieces to make something new. But like, this ship has lived its life, and so it sounds so. And I think with us, we get so attached and so emotional to certain things, but the people who are professional, this is life. This is the way it goes. Like, I'm here to help you. You want me to help you. And so we end up making them the enemy when they're just doing their job.
Yeah. And then there's just like they have to do with like Aqua Laguna, which is never brought up again. I don't know. I feel like it should be a bigger deal. Like the tides should be a bigger deal.
I was gonna say that's the giant flood, right?
Yeah.
Did it happen? Did Aqua Laguna happen in this arc? I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did.
And I just wish they would like bring something like that back. You know.
You just want them to drown again?
Well, I mean,
I guess no one really drowned.
Not necessarily, but it's fun world building. It's like, yeah, the tide gets really big every once in a while. We all have to deal with that. Now we're all too worried about, the world government stuff.
Yeah, well, Charleston, South Carolina just had that tide going where we had 26 inches of rain, so we pretty much had our own Aqua Laguna.
Yeah, wasn't that fun world building?
It was so fun world building. Like, you're right, it should happen again. I don't understand why it doesn't. Mother Nature really needs to do better. Yeah. So, going back to just the ship, so Luffy and Usopp actually ends up fighting because that's how much Usopp, this is what I vividly remember, that's how much Usopp is not willing to give away the ship. And so Usopp is like, I will fight you, and whoever wins will get the ship. So, of course, Luffy beats Usopp like easily, but Luffy ends up giving Usopp the ship, but now Usopp is no longer a part of the crew. And at this point, I'm just I didn't know what to expect. What did you think would happen once you saw in that moment of time? So pretend like you don't know anything in the future. What was your reaction and your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's so emotional. It's just, I don't know what to think. I was freaking out.
Yeah, well, because at this point, I don't know Oda. I don't know if this is going to be a happy-go-lucky anime. So in my head, Usopp is, it's done. How are you coming back from this? Like, you chose the ship over your crew. Like, you cut tides.
Yeah. It's so hard to experience.
Yeah. Like, I'm grateful I was able to binge this and not have to wait anything to know answers, which is why I'm struggling very hard right now with the current season. But let's just talk a little bit more about Franky. Oh, the other guy's name is Iceberg. So pretty much Franky and Iceberg was the internship or the apprentice of, I can't remember his name.
Polly?
It
Iceberg
Polly?
is...
Iceberg is not the
Iceberg was the
guy?
mentor, right?
Something like that. So listeners, feel free to tell us we're wrong. One of us is wrong, either TJ and I. So I don't care which one it is. But pretty much Franky and his other person was the apprentice. And so what the Navy wants, I think CP9 wants, is apparently there is blueprints. And so we assume Franky was kind of like the misfit apprentice, so that's why we love him. But we assume like the A+ apprentice, whether it's Iceberg or Polly, we can't remember which is which. We think he has the blueprints. And do you remember what was the blueprints everyone was freaking out about? Was it about the Gold Rogers ship? Or
no,
was
it was
it
for
something
Pluton.
Else? It was Pluton, okay.
Yeah, big
Which
deal.
is, yeah.
Ancient weapon.
And is that the first time we learn about Pluton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically, yeah.
So I think it was alluded to in Skypiea about a weapon, but we didn't know the name.
Mm-hmm.
But so they're looking for Pluton, which is this big weapon, and that's what CP9 is ultimately after, besides Robin too, right? They just want to quiet her. And we find out Robin was a part of CP9.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And this whole arc might just be a little emotional.
It's crazy because especially whenever like Robin is at the tower and Luffy, because Robin is trying to sacrifice herself. She's like, I'm a lost cause. Don't try and save me. Like, this is my time. And then Luffy being Luffy, he's like, no, wait, like, what do you want, Robin? Tell us what you really want. And she's on the tower. She's like, save me, Luffy. I want to go to sea with you.
Yeah, and Robin's not even like part of the crew in Water 7. You're just kind of there.
Mm-hmm. She was pretty much a hitchhiker. Yep. Wow. I'm so
Hitchhiker,
tired.
yeah.
Hitchhiker at this point. But she's done so many good things. Even whenever she was assistant to Crocodile, she still wasn't like in a villain position. She just does whatever she needed to do to survive and to keep outrunning CP9. But they caught up to her.
Yep. They want her dead. But yeah, let's talk about Franky. This is Franky's arc.
I love him.
I love Franky.
He's so funny. I love his Speedo so much.
Yeah, it's good. I would wear it. I should wear it.
Please, can we, when we go to Comic-Con in November, can you be Franky? Please.
I don't want to work out.
Just like get one of those shirts that has the abs on it.
That's lazy.
Oh, okay. Well, get to work.
Yeah, I gotta commit if I'm gonna do it.
You should. I will be Nami.
I need way bigger forearms. I'm afraid. Might not be able to get there.
I'll be the desert, like the Arabia like Nami, so I don't have to wear a belly shirt.
Yeah.
Because also
smart.
I will not be going to the gym.
Yeah, I need to. It might be easier to be like post time skip Franky. Honestly.
Oh, be
'Cause
robot
it's
Franky.
less realistic, which makes it easier to do.
This could be happening. I love that Franky's pretty much kind of has a, I don't want to say it's not Yakuza, is not his gang, but it's pretty much almost like a biker gang mentality with his family.
Yeah.
He's the uncle is what they refer him to, a big bro in some translations, and he's just really funny.
Yeah, I love Franky so much. Franky's whole character to me is just hilarious. Just cyborg man fueled by cola.
Who doesn't want to be
awesome.
fueled by cola?
He's just like me.
I wish they would like play off of it one day and just be like, "What's wrong?" He's like, I got diet cola. This sucks. And
Yeah, he would never. He would never.
Yeah,
make
he
that
would
mistake.
never. But like, just kind of like, I would love them to bash diet
That
cola.
would be really funny.
It just
If
would.
he's
Like,
just
what's
like-
happening?
Or if he just finds out and he's been using Diet Cola the whole time.
Yeah,
that's
just
how they
like
make
a
Franky
fun-
stronger.
Or like something happens where they get like orange soda or something like that, and it's just like a little goofy filler episode. That's what we want.
Possibilities are endless.
Oda, please hear this podcast and make our dreams come true with
Yeah.
Franky.
Especially
Also,
with
if
the Thousand Sunny.
I know
It
the
has like
Thousand
soda
Sunny.
powers. Like Thousand Sunny is an extension of Franky at this point.
Yeah.
It could just be shooting out Sprite.
And I don't think we know about the Thousand Sunny yet in this arc, do we? No.
Not even close.
But Franky is the one who will eventually, since we already talked about, obviously the Going Merry is no longer, he will be building the next ship, which is the Thousand Sunny.
Hello, friends. If you enjoy systematic ecology, a great way to support us and to keep us moving forward into the future is to be a patron on our Patreon network. If you're a Patreon, then you get live access to our YouTube exclusives like Comic Book Ketchup and Manga Mustard, Drinks with Tejas, and also some extra content there with our companion series to go along with our annual theme. If you're a patron, you get exclusive merch like t-shirts and handbags and mugs. There's also a bonus extra question that has extra content. In each episode, we go deeper into our faith and the questions that we're wrestling with, but we also do this extra question to jump in and share about, and patrons get to hear how we answer that question. There's discounts on our store. You get access to any future online D&D campaigns. You can easily access all of our Patreon content through our Spotify page where it says exclusive content for subscribers. That could be you folks. And all that being said, you get the satisfaction that you help us keep the lights on and keep us moving forward with our software, our marketing, our equipment, staying current in the podcast game. We love systematic ecology. We hope you do too. Support us moving forward. Thank you for all that you are. We know there's a lot of great choices and content out there, and you choose to listen to systematic ecology. Thanks, folks. We love you. Peace.
Which I feel like could have had a better name, but it's fine.
You don't like Thousand Sunny?
I don't understand it. Like, why 1,000 Sunny?
Why not?
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. I don't
100
get it.
Sunny is not enough.
You're right. It needs to be 1,000. Maybe it could have been plus ultra 1,000 Sunnies. Combine a few things. So Franky, I didn't see, like, you kind of assume whenever Luffy goes into a new arc, especially at this point, because he's still actively recruiting crew members, you assume people are going to be joining his crew, but it was hard for me to believe Franky would leave his family to join the crew.
Yeah, well, he wasn't going to.
No, he was not. Like, because that bond was beautiful of the brothers. And everyone had such a bad view of Franky because, once again, he was the misfit apprentice, but everyone loved the other one, the other guy who was also the mayor of Water 7. But they, as we learned, they had this whole order orchestrated just to keep balance. And so even though they like seemed to hate each other, they had like this agreement, which I feel is beautiful. So Franky chose to be the hated person.
Yeah, it's noble.
It
Takes
really
a lot
is.
to do that.
I couldn't do it. I want to be loved by all.
Let me see. I'm looking it up. Because Iceberg is the one that suggested like the name Thousand Sunny. Really? He said it describes a ship as bright as the sun that will cheerfully sail through 1,000 seas.
Cute.
So that's a good name.
Such a good name. Still think it could have been better, but I'm just being a hater. But I really loved the Going Merry too. I was very sad to see it go. So I think that's kind of why I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah, well now they have the Mini Mary too, as like the little like rowboat that they have, which isn't a rowboat because Franky made it. So
yeah, nothing is. Franky is just fantastic.
Franky's great.
Franky is
just legitimately so ahead of the technological curve of the One Piece.
He's the Elon Musk of One Piece. I said it.
He's capable.
Okay, he's
also poor.
Okay, you're right. Who's the trying to think of the other person who got all the credit taken from him? Was it Tesla?
Woz? Oh, you're thinking about I was talking about Apple. Nikola Tesla, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's that. Like he had all the idea.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
he definitely is. Because he's making engines.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually just in a different technological age. They just all run on cola.
Yeah, and we learn a little bit about his backstory. So whenever he was an apprentice, he would just take junk and build these, as a little boy would, these battleships. So could you imagine if all these little boys with their creative ideas could actually build what was in their head? It would be dangerous. And Franky was able to do this. And because of that, Franky had to live with this guilt, and this is one of the reasons why people hated him, even though it wasn't his fault. The government pretty much stole all his ships and was like, to his mentor, they pretty much framed him and said, you built Gold Roger's ship, you have all these ships, you're going to overthrow the government, we need to kill you. It's very sad.
Yeah. And then it's not even like, because Luffy destroys his house.
Yeah, he does. Luffy's crazy. He has no chill.
Luffy destroys his house, and Franky wants to fight him for that. But, he is Luffy. Like, this point in the story is still where, like, Luffy is just so much stronger than pretty much everyone he fights. Mm-hmm. Except for, like, Crocodile. Crocodile's still busted.
Yeah, with this, so we kind of talked all about that. Usopp leaves the crew. And then Robin disappears, and so now the whole end of this episode, Franky ends up joining their team because I guess he's invested because of the blueprints, because his masters told him and the other apprentice to protect it, so he's trying to do his master's dying wish. So they join teams for a moment, and they all pretty much get broken down not broken down, but like 101 with CP9 trying to protect Robin. And so CP9 is really giving them like actual trouble, like to the point of I would think they almost lost at some point versus like whenever we did the numbers and stuff like that, they gave them trouble, but we still easily won, I feel like, or it gave us, but this one, it was like, I think Lucille was number one or the strongest one. And we thought he defeated Luffy at one point.
You mean
Luffy,
Lucci?
Of course. Lucci. Whatever.
Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci.
Why did I say
Lucille?
I know. I saw spoilers. Very excited.
Sick. It's so sick.
I mean, we can't not talk about the episode when Sanji fights the ramen chef, though.
Oh yeah, so good.
That was so fun.
There's at least one good character moment for every Straw Hat in this arc.
Yes, and then
all the ones we have so far, at least.
We got to see Nami being, she was kind of super wanting to save Robin, and so she kind of gave a lot of courage to the other Straw Hats. Like, we can't give up, we have to do this. And so, for once, Nami is ready to fight and not run away.
Yeah.
And then
Monster Point, Chopper, well, that's in Eslavi. But still, it's close, it's so close. And Eslavi's so good.
We can't talk about another fantastic character that's been introduced to us. Sojo King is what he's called?
Soja King, yeah.
Soja King. Can you tell us about Soja King for the people who may not know?
Yeah, so Soja King is just a way better sniper that kind of like hangs around the Straw Hats. He's got like this cool mask with a long nose. He's got his hair slicked back, but he's just like a crazy good sniper that just kind of showed up and started helping the Straw Hats at some point.
Super confident.
Yeah, super confident dude. Awesome attacks. Never misses. It's so sick. He's so cool.
He has like 1,000 people under him. He's a king.
He's a king. He's like one of the strongest characters in the series.
Mm-hmm. And Luffy is just so impressed by him.
Yeah, Luffy loves the guy.
Yep. I think it's only Luffy. And Chopper. Chopper also loves him.
Yeah, and he just doesn't join the crew because he has his own things to deal with.
Yeah, but he's just helping him out.
Yeah, he shows up sometimes to help. Yeah.
So that's Soja King. He's fantastic.
Yep, gotta watch it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they never did reveal his identity.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, so we will not reveal his identity out of respect for Soja King.
Yeah. Soja King even like comes to like save Luffy and Zoro when they're like trying to like track down the sea train and stop the sea train to stop Robin from getting to Inez lobby.
So good. I mean, really, I think we should have a Soja King day.
I agree.
We should. Maybe we
like
should.
Maybe not even us, but like in Japan, there should definitely be a Soja King day.
They do have a One Piece day in Japan.
Yeah, Soja King needs his own day.
He really does. Maybe we should be Soja. You should be Soja King for Comic-Con in November.
I should. That'd be a good one.
It would be. You don't have to lose any weight for that.
Yeah, I might actually still have to lose weight. He's very skinny.
Your choice.
He's just not, he's not athletic. He's not muscular. I don't have to get big. Maybe tall.
Oh, yeah. You can do that, right?
Yeah, I'll wear heels.
Good. Please wear heels. I'll never ask for anything ever again.
Oh, I can. It's easy.
So we're fighting on the sea train. I'm just so sad that they're destroying the sea train, but it's the Straw Hats, so they're going to destroy anything they fight in. I'm just thinking, like, all that hard work, you guys suck. Can you guys not destroy everything? But all the CP9 people, aren't they like animals with their devil fruit?
Not all of them.
Not all of them?
Not all of them. Spawned them.
Because one of them's a giraffe, right?
Kaku, yeah.
I love that one.
Love Kaku. Kaku's awesome.
It's so funny, like so random.
Yeah, Kaku is a giraffe.
I was very sad
when...
when...
a cheetah?
Yeah, a leopard, I think.
Or a leopard?
Like a white leopard.
One of the two.
Yeah, he's a white leopard. But I was so sad when Kaku was CP9 because he was just so cool. And I'm like, no,
he still is.
Bad. I guess. But they did such a good job. I was genuinely shocked whenever, because we get time and we learn all these shipwrights and all these characters, and then no idea they've been CP9 the whole time. Yep. Genuinely, like, caught by surprise.
Yeah,
did not see it coming.
Luno's devil fruit is like the door thing. Oh
yeah,
he just so looks random. Like a bull.
Mm-hmm. So random. And then there was a female too. Like, yeah, the assistant was also CP9.
Yeah, and she does the soap girl.
Gosh, women, they always be soapy, I guess. I don't know.
That's true.
Can't trust a woman. I'm trying to think of what else that we have to talk. There's just so much to talk about.
Yeah,
and I know we went through a lot of things vaguely, but I'm trying to think if we missed anything. Because Usopp still doesn't come back after this arc.
Yeah, he does not.
So,
Soja King is with them for the end of Water 7 and all of Inez Lobby.
Inez Lobby is another crazy one. I get toasty just thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh, Inez Lobby is so good.
Do we learn a little bit more about Robin's background in this? Like why CP9 is after her?
Not yet.
I didn't think so. We just know
Robin
she's on
was
the
just
run.
Super mysterious for the first 300 episodes of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And she still is, really. Like, recently we've gotten a lot of info, but, that's for, like, 3 or 4 years from now we'll probably cover those arcs.
Isn't that crazy to think of? Years to cover all the arcs. And it's still going strong, but it is in its last series, right? It's in its last stages.
Last saga, is what he said.
Yeah. Oh, who knows? Well, who? Dang, a saga can still be another 4 years.
Yeah. So
this is the time to start binging, everyone. This is it. Start at episode 1 if you haven't already. Or just rewatch it. I've rewatched it a couple times.
They're planning on reanimating it with like modern pacing.
I heard.
Which you'll lose some charm, but as far as just getting caught up.
Is it going to be the same characters? It's just a re.
Yeah. They're just going to take.
What it was.
cut out the fluff, like when they like to do 15 to 20 seconds of, going between two people's faces. They're just going to cut all that out.
Are they going to cut out the 20 episode fight scenes?
They will be shorter.
Wow. That would be nice, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for that. But
I would rewatch it.
He said, after Wano, Oda said, well, now the real story can start. Now we know all the crew.
Gosh,
it was just a prequel. The first 1,080 chapters are just the prequel.
Yeah, that was just the appetizer.
Yeah.
Honestly, we probably have another 1,000 episodes, I bet.
I would probably.
At least 500.
I would disagree, but it's pretty likely.
I'm going to make my prediction right now. We have 500 more episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It feels, the pacing right now feels like it could end soon, but we're not here to talk about that. Water 7.
No, we're not. But this is
sidetrack.
This is just why you should watch it, because we can't, you need Water 7 for the big boys to come up.
Yeah. And man, every arc is just so good.
It really is. And like I said at the beginning, I say this is a turning point. This is a key arc. But what anime can you say that about every single arc? There's no, yes, there's filler episodes every once in a while, but even I enjoy the filler episodes.
Yeah.
But each arc has a purpose and is well thought out.
Yeah, it's so.
Because this ends with the sea train. It does arrive at Ennis. Yeah, I'm saying it right. The lobby, but then it kind of just it ends from there. I can't remember exactly how the last episode ended.
Yeah, they the frog from the first episode comes back and jumps in front of the train to derail it.
Yeah, that was it.
They still make it to Inez lobby though.
But it's just once again the final build up towards another climactic event, because we know that Ennis. Do we know that Ennis lobby is pretty much a prison at this point, an escape? It's pretty much Azkaban to Harry Potter.
I think they know, to them, I'm pretty sure they think they're just going to kill Robin at Inez lobby. But the very end of Water 7, Blue Note does tell us, or them, about Robin, how Robin was supposed to die in a buster call on island. So we get a tiny bit about her past.
Just a wee bit. I mean, because we knew before this that at the age of 8 she had a bounty, and so we knew she was a bad Mamba Jamba, but we just didn't know why.
Yeah. So here Blue Note's the government tried to kill her when she was 8. She survived, so finishing the job.
Hey, I guess she's probably 10 years later, because we don't really get to know the ages of these characters, do we?
No.
Which I think is kind of magical.
I think Oda has said most of their ages before, but not in the story, just in the SBS, before the chapters.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I would ever go and read the manga.
No, it's good. It's worth it.
I know it's good, but it's just that's me having, and I know everyone says the dub is trash with One Piece, but sometimes you just have to listen to the dub while you do the dishes, because at the end of the day, I'm an adult with things to do, and I can't just stare at my computer screen, even though I want to.
Yeah, so we've got... Hold on.
I'm holding.
Before the time skip, Luffy 17, Zoro's 19, Nami's 18, Usopp 17, Sanji's 19, Chopper's 15, Robin is 28.
Dang, Robin.
Oh, Franky's 34.
Oh.
And the other Straw Hats we haven't met yet and aren't going to talk about.
Nope. Well, do you have any other things to say about Water 7 before we wrap up?
Water 7's still just beautiful.
It is beautiful. Just go rewatch it for the serenity of it at the beginning.
It's such a good arc that it gets overshadowed a lot because Inez Lobby really is just top 3 arcs in One Piece, and is just right after this.
I like it. I love Robin. I love that she's an addition, so I love that we get to have a little bit of spotlight on her. And plus, it really checks all the boxes. You got the emotional check, you have the fighting check, you just have the fun and whimsy of it. It's hitting my mic, but it just checks it off. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you check out our other recaps of the One Piece arc. For those Patreons with the subscriber, we do have our extra question, and since I am in charge of this episode, we will be talking about why that Robin and Franky is the most ship hearing is one of them. And I just want to know what people's thoughts are. Recommendation. What am I going to recommend? Gosh, I don't know. TJ, you recommend something real quick, what I think.
One Piece.
Yes, One Piece. I'm going to recommend that too. Sorry. This is how much we just love it, guys. Don't forget to rate and review the show on Podchaser, wherever you listen to. And also thank you again for our Patreon, Miss Knowles. We appreciate you so much for helping us keep the lights on. Remember, everyone, that we are all a chosen people, a geekdom of priests. Hope you have a great time, and stay tuned for that bonus question, Captivate members.
If you'd like to support our show, please consider joining our Patreon, where you get live access to our YouTube exclusives, including our comic book catch-up, manga mustard, drinks with Tejas, and our companion series that we do each year with our annual theme. You can also get exclusive merch, including t-shirts, handbags, a coffee mug, and a long sleeve shirt. We also have available bonus extra questions at the end of most of our podcast episodes. You get access to exclusive Discord channels, discounts on our store, access to any future online D&D campaigns. You get to vote on topics for some of our episodes. You can easily access all of the Patreon content right through Spotify now. So super easy. Go to our Spotify page at the top. It's going to say exclusive content for subscribers. If you're a patron, hit that button. You get all of our bonus content right there on Spotify, right with your regular feed. And of course, you get the satisfaction of knowing you helped a podcast in need. Our overhead includes editing software, marketing equipment, recording software, and a lot more. And there's a lot that goes into keeping the lights on here. And we really appreciate all of our patron subscribers for helping the show happen.
Hey guys, Christian here to talk to you about the AMP Network. That is the Amazon Ministries Podcasting Network. That's what we do for all of us here together. You can follow the whole network in a single feed on Spotify at Amazon Ministries Podcast, or on the network page on Apple Podcasts to just see what we're all doing. And what are we doing? Well, we have plenty of things here. We've got the homily. You love Pastor Will. You want to hear Pastor Will preach. You hear the man doing a homily there. It's amazing. The man does spectacular work for Holy Trinity Lutheran Church in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Then we have the Whole Church podcast. If you want to hear Joshua and TJ talk to different people from around the church who have very different views on how things should go, check it out there. You want to go to My Seminary Life? You want to get some more Brandon Knight in your life? Who doesn't want more of that? Go there, hear about the man, discuss his time at seminary, which is what he used to do. Now he's on other topics, and just head out there for what the rest of the man can do. Hear a lot of good stuff that way. Now you can head over to Let Nothing Move You. That's my podcast where I go through the Bible chapter by chapter, verse by verse. I started with Luke, then I went to Romans. Now I'm in Genesis, and I'm moving on from there. It's a good time if you want to hear how I view the Bible, how things should go there. You can do that. You can go to Dummy for Theology, where you hear Joshua Noel discuss the various theological topics that he has there in an attempt to show every side of the big discussions, leaving you with more questions than answers. If that infuriates you like me, but you still want to listen, head out that way. You can go to the Bible After Hours. We have the foul-mouthed preacher there, and he's going to deliver things that not ready for every ear to hear, but sometimes you need someone to be a little filthy out there just to give a more progressive view of the church, to challenge the status quo of what is happening here. Do you agree with him? Do you not like him? How are you going to know if you don't listen to him? And finally, we have save best for last, the Clydes. Taylor and Elizabeth Clyde. You need some more Pangalangan in your life, like all of us do, then head out there, see what's going on in their own life, in their own ministry, so you can hear the devotions and everything going on in their lives. Once again, that's the Amazon Ministries Podcasting Network, AMP, and we love you guys. See you next time.